reverse greeting. Well done, sir.
Oh, thank you.
During the season of Lent, we have long gospel readings. It's one of the ways that we are called as a church to take in a bigger story than the usual 5 or 6 verse snippets that we get throughout the year. And today we have this lengthy story of Jesus offering healing. So I'd like you to do something with me. Now, can you promise not to go to sleep? You'll try? Okay, fair enough. What I want you to do is to close your eyes. And they're going to be that way for a while, so don't just go like opening them. While your eyes are closed, I want you to imagine that you're sitting there by the side of a road in Jerusalem. You can't see it, for you were born blind. But you can hear it. You can hear people walking past, their sandals shuffling along the dirt. You can hear the cacophony of voices sounding around you. People conducting business. You hear the sound of a troop of Roman soldiers as they march past. You can feel the sun warm on your face. You call out, asking people to give you some alms, a little something to help you make it through the day. You hear the sound of a coin as it clinks in your cup. God bless you, you say. You hear other people walking right past, even though you call out for help. No one stops to talk to you. They make their way around you. They talk about you plenty. Parents telling their children, just keep moving. And then you hear this next conversation. 2 men talking, one of them asking, why is this person blind? Because they sinned or because their parents did? It's the same question you hear every day as people pass by you. People always assume that being blind is somebody's fault. Somebody did something to cause it, that you deserve this. But just as your mind is moving away from the people in front of you, you hear the teacher answer the question. This person isn't born blind because of anybody's sin, but because they're blind, God's works will be able to be revealed in them. And then you hear it. What's going on? And then you feel fingertips on your face, wet and sticky with mud. Water and earth being rubbed into your eyes. And then the voice tells you, go. Wash in the pool of Siloam. And that's when everything changed for you. For the first time, you could see. Go ahead and open your eyes. The one who was born blind. People talking about them rather than to them. What a common experience it is for those who have disabilities of one sort or another. The topic of conversation revolves around them, but somehow the one-on-one interaction doesn't quite happen. I think of that one that Jesus healed on that morning in Jerusalem, about what it must have been like growing up, unable to see, being put out at a young age to beg, hoping to make something of a living, despite disability. Of course, the story goes on. The one who can now see makes his way to that pool of Siloam, washes off that mud, and is not only clean-faced, but is clean-spirited. Finds that life is transformed. Finds that everyone is still arguing about it. Those religious leaders. And of course, John always points out it's the Jews. You need to understand, of course, that John's gospel was written at a time when the church and the synagogue were fighting. And so in John's gospel, we find this language that comes out of conflict. John finds it easy to scapegoat people. It would be much more fitting to say the religious leaders, because those who were in charge in Jesus' day and those who are in charge in our day have a lot in common. It doesn't matter what religion you are. Once you find power, it's challenging to find a new way of seeing things. But those religious leaders who found this young man who could suddenly and miraculously see couldn't get their heads around it. And so they finally decided to ask him what happened. And he told the story about the mud being placed on his eyes and the ability to see that he had never anticipated. But those religious leaders, they couldn't believe it. Clearly there's something fishy in this story, they thought, and so they decided to ask some other folks. So what did you see? What happened? And the people told their story, but still it wasn't believable. And so finally they sent for the man's parents. What happened? The leaders asked. Tell us what happened. Is this your son who was born blind, and how is it that he can see? And those parents, they tell the part of the story they know. Yes, this is our son. But as to what happened, we weren't there. Don't ask us, ask him. He will tell you what happened. It's almost as though they hadn't asked, almost as though they hadn't listened. They ask again with the parents looking on, tell us what happened. How is it that you see? And finally, having told his story over and over again, the one who can now see asks the exasperating question. He says, I've told you. Are you asking me not because you want information, but because you want to follow this healer too? And then enraged, they put him out of the synagogue. How dare he say something like that? How dare he suggest that their questioning is because they don't have faith in the old ways? How dare he suggest that this new teacher might have some credibility? And he tells them, all I can tell you is that I was blind, and now I can see. In his book, An Anthropologist on Mars, the neurologist Oliver Sacks told the story of a man named Virgil who was born blind. And when he was 45 years old, doctors were able to perform a miraculous surgery on him that allowed him to see for the first time. The truly remarkable part of the story, though, is that the outcome was not the storybook ending that you would expect, where his eyes were opened and he could see plainly. Instead, because his brain had never learned how to interpret all of the things that would be passing through the optic nerve, Virgil, though he was able to see in a technical sense, wasn't able to process what he could see. The shapes and the colors and the textures made no sense to him. And so instead of being grateful for this newfound ability, he longs for the clarity that he once had before vision clouded his other senses. And in the end, he goes blind again. And in the book, his recurring blindness is presented as a gift of the reality that he has always known. And that's where the religious leaders were in John's gospel. They had gotten that glimpse of reality, but they hadn't been able to make sense of it. Instead of enlightening them, it became too much stimulation. They had seen evidence of God's power, but they discounted it because it didn't fit with their preconceived notions of how God should work. This teacher, healing on the Sabbath. And though they claimed they could see, they were blinded by their own insistence that they could see perfectly. Of course, God so rarely does things the way we think they should be done. God surprises us with new vision, with new insight. Just like that story from Samuel, where the prophet went out and chose not the oldest son or the strongest, but the little runty guy who was out with the sheep. God surprises us, challenges us, gives us new vision if we have the courage to hold on to that and to tell our story. Earlier, we closed our eyes, imagining ourselves in the story to be the one born blind. Now I'd like you to keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open to the world around you. Keep your eyes open for the revelations that God offers you. And when people ask you, what is it that you can see? Tell the story. Tell the story in your own words of how God's grace has come to you, of how God has touched you, of how Christ has transformed you, of how the vision that you carry, not only in your eyes but in your hearts, is a holy gift. Tell the story. Just like that one who was granted sight so long ago. Maybe even getting that snarky part. The part where you say, why do you keep asking? I've told you. Is it because you want to follow as well? And as you tell the story, as you invite others to follow, may you be blessed. For our journey of faith is a journey of new sight and a journey of storytelling. So keep your eyes open and keep telling people what you see. Amen.